What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Minute Channel. Today's gonna be a really interesting video here for me. This year alone, we had so many remakes and remasters and all kinds of stuff like that, where we're talking about things like Persona 5 Royal, which I talk immensely in my channel, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil. All these games have come out this year that, honestly, one, they've been really good remakes or remasters, and two, they had added something that was pretty good so far. So we had a pretty good year of remakes and remasters. So we have another remaster this time, and this is Xenoblade Chronicles, the Ultimate Edition. Now this is pretty interesting for me particularly because I never played the game before. I'm going completely blind playing it and everything like that, so my perspective is very different from other people's. I'm not comparing this from the previous two games or the previous two versions of the game, whether it's the Wii version or the 3DS version. I'm completely going in and just enjoying the game for the first time, and I have a very different perspective on this. However, my perspective so far has been really positive. So I played about 5 hours of the game, actually live stream all of it last night, all the 5 hours, and honestly these 5 hours have been some of the best 5 hours on an RPG that I've played in a really long time. I honestly, these 5 hours alone gave me so many emotions, so many things to explore, so many things to digest and go through and everything like that, and all these 5 hours already seem worth it for the money and the amount of quality that I got in this game. Now this game is old, and in some aspects it does reflect that. This is a remastered from my Wii game, so it does not have like the technical capabilities or anything like that you will expect from other games. However, this game on itself looks beautiful. The character models are especially well rendered, and at no point I have any kind of issues when it comes to the performance or anything like that. So in that aspect, the game looks good. It doesn't look beautiful, the best game on the entire world or anything like that, but for a remaster, I think that they were able to do a pretty good job as far as remastering what needs to be remastered and leaving things that look pretty good overall. So I think that the game is a pretty good looking game. Obviously, again, it's not gonna look like the best game ever, but for the era and for remastered, I think they did a pretty good job with that. That out of the way, because honestly that doesn't matter much to me since I haven't played the game before. This is my first time. The gameplay and the storyline is something that I actually was really looking forward to because I went completely blind. Even my friends that know about the game, that had talked to me about it, I had like zero idea what I was walking into. And the amount of emotion, again, the amount of build up that they go up until the first 5 hours is something that I was not expecting. To 5 hours in a lot of games is nothing. When it comes to games, even games like some of my favorite games, 5 hours is just starting or half the way through the game or something like that. In this game, 5 hours is just a build up for a bigger story that opens up. But the way they're able to build up character development in 5 hours, the way they're able to build up some world building into the game is something that I was very particularly shocked. I was like, wow, the amount of depth in character development, the amount of depth that they did as far as world building is really stellar. They build up this wonderful, interesting world that you want to explore, these characters that you get attached to, and you spend frankly some time with, whether it's the battle or the memories that you see or all these interactions and everything. It's really interesting. Without going into much detail about it, the story revolves around Shulk, as he is some kind of he's an inventor. I will say he's somebody that is interested in technology from ancient times, and he has a lot of passion into it. You have a lot of characters that revolve about him, and he's just kind of going about his time and his day, doing his usual routine and everything. They go and help out a friend. When suddenly they get attacked by these mechons, these mech machines that they come and attack into the city and everything. And overall, that really shuts up the story and everything that happens afterwards and everything. So the introduction, again, I told you was really interesting. Honestly, while I knew the character and when I knew some aspects of kind of like the story overall, kind of like a little what I told you, the amount of depth that they were able to bring into it, I was really really surprised, and I really like it a whole lot. 5 hours of time so far have shown that this game has a lot of potential, and I'm very excited to check it out. It definitely is really interesting. Now let's talk a little bit about the gameplay, and the gameplay is really interesting. Honestly, it reminded me a lot of different aspects of Final Fantasy. I know people will be like, "Whoa, how Final Fantasy? How?" I feel, to me, felt like a combination between Final Fantasy and the Tales of games, kind of like a almost like a hack and slash, but not really. You're moving around your character, but you still have like specific cooldown for abilities and everything like that. And then you have this special abilities. In this game, there are gems, but in Final Fantasy like 7, for example, is materia. So it's a similar concept and aspects of it, but in reality it's a good mashup with different gameplays, and the elements work itself pretty well with each other. It does take some time and some adjustment to kind of get used to the mechanics and everything like that, but once you get used to it and everything, it starts flowing, and you start making combos, and you start doing all kinds of different stuff, and I really like that a lot. I think it's an interesting way to approach the gameplay and everything. It's definitely something that I wasn't prepared for, but as long as I started playing and everything, I started getting used to it, and I like the gameplay. I think it's pretty interesting, and it can be really intricate, especially during boss battles or special moments and everything. You do get to do a lot of the stuff and everything like that. Some battles are pretty quickly, you can just go and one shot some things. Some battles, like special bosses and that kind of stuff, they just kind of appear randomly in the wild and everything, can be really taxing, and it can even kill you fast. So you also have to kind of like have this practice and everything. You have to learn the mechanics, and I like that a lot. I think the gameplay is very unique and interesting enough on itself. Definitely like that a lot. The quests are interesting. Some of them can be even little mini stories that you can do. Some of them are fetch quests. So far I've done a bunch of quests in this time, so I definitely got my acquaintance with that. One of my biggest pet peeves is obviously the fetch quest, which is go from point A to point B, but they give it its own spin and everything like that. I don't think they don't really hassle or anything like that. So overall, the quests have been pretty okay so far. And my last thing that I want to talk about before I finish this video and answer the questions, should you play this game, is the music. The music in this game is really good, honestly, and I know this is actually a remaster of the music as well, so I don't know what the original music sounds like, and I'm sorry, again, new player here, but what I heard, what I like so far, is very beautiful. He knows when he's to be loud, he knows when he's to be quiet, he knows when he's it's really good. There are some games that you play where the music is so loud that you can barely hear your own thoughts, or what I'm streaming was the music so loud that people can barely hear me. In this game, it knows when to do the changes and everything, and it's really well paced. It's really well written music. I think that it does a really good stuff for it and everything. I am very impressed so far with the game. Yes, you should definitely play this game. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you're either trying to look to our review and see what people think about the game, or you're interested in buying it. So if you're interested in buying this game, definitely check it out. I think this is definitely a good game for the price. Again, from what I played so far, I'm very impressed so far. But anyway, that is pretty much in my first impressions video here, just kind of talking to you about the games and my impressions so far. Definitely, as the game goes along and I'll keep on playing, maybe I'll give you a full review in 100 hours later. I know this is a long game, so I'm very prepared and ready for this game. But anyway, that is pretty much it for today, guys. If you're new, please consider liking and subscribing for more reviews, RPG games like Persona, or in this case Xenoblade Chronicles. And that's for today, guys. I'll see you guys next time.